There are two main reasons that humans do things. One is to seek pleasure. Two is to decrease anything that's uncomfortable. In other words, the two motivating factor in human activities, no matter how you mix it, no matter what portion of life, what stage of life, or what goal that they have, no matter how mundane or no matter how incorporeal it is. Two main motivating factors, no matter what form, such as sex or fear, no matter what form, the core of it is for the purpose of increasing pleasure, advancing pleasure, in other words, or decreasing pain. Information is the medium to which humans transfer wisdom. Information is the medium to which humans actually put things to use. You can have a tool if you don't have the information that goes along with how that tool is used. Whether you've practiced with it yourself without anyone formally telling you, or you are seeking someone else to tell you or instruct you. No matter what it is, that tool, the purpose of you using it, ultimately can be categorized into one of two things: to perpetuate pleasure or to decrease pain. No one is going to change their storm door if the draft of wind during the winter is not coming into the house and making life worse. So therefore, they take the effort to get up, go get a new storm door, install it, or even outsource the process of installation, like hiring someone to do it. You pay that monies, you spend time. Why? So that you can be comfortable in your own home, so that you could decrease the pain of the cold. Information is the exact same way. When people run across information, such as secure party creditor, the first thing that attracts them is the concept of discharge. And that is normal, because it is the birthright of everyone to pursue happiness. And being a secure party is actually a proper thing. In contract, being a creditor is also a proper thing in contract. But that thing called SPC, secured party creditor, and all the methods that's been dumped and being revived and being given to people in speculative manner, just this new special information somewhere. And the new things now being made up, like W4 sandwich and all these new terminologies. It is a hype train that bastardizes the real thing. It's been said before in past videos, wherever you see something that is popular, that everyone does, it's usually fake. But somewhere, somehow, there's something real to which that fake thing is derived. And that something real is usually less popular. Because in order for it to first be accepted, people who have invested time, energy, monies in the fake thing will first have to accept that they've wasted time. Although all hopes is not lost, because at least now you know the wrong way, the way not to go. Now you know the corresponding end, so that you could assist others and say, look, don't go that way. Or now you know the telltale signs of what doesn't work. But people have invested years after years after years. That it is unpopular when they hear someone say, look, you've been wasting your time. Now here's the real version of how it works. When the real version of how it works is shown to them, it is so complex in their mind, despite them spending all these years reading all these things that are complex but doesn't make sense. When the stuff that does make sense and does work is introduced to them, they don't want to spend the mind power on it anymore. Those are the people that fall into the okie doke category and try to turn a wet rag into a magic carpet. Let me show you a fine evidence of this. What goes on social media. The video was done on Accept for Value, why it doesn't work, the one who invented it, how they attempted to use it in public courts, and how it didn't work, and how they themselves never did it monetarily when it comes to the bills people receive. Granted, the objective, pragmatic truth was just presented, but despite that, I'm sure many people will perceive it from a very feudal manner and think someone is trying to basically make them look bad. Why? Because they've invested time in it. But here's more proof of the truth amongst people who refer to themselves and subscribe to the concept of being a secure party creditor, that these things people subscribe to does not benefit them, yet they just continue it. You want to see what mass hypnosis functionally look like? I'll show you. A top contributor from one of these social media secure party pages. Has anyone attempted to discharge any debt by negotiable instrument method? And of course, to them, the negotiable instrument method is endorsing stuff, at least what they consider endorsing things on its face, which is defacing it, all that except for value, right? By negotiable instrument method. And in some case, if they don't do that, they create promissory notes the wrong way without an actual evidence of collateral, but are certain to be secure parties. And then ... by properly endorsing a quote unquote bill. If you know what a bill is, you know it's equivalent to money. So there's no need to even put it on quote unquote that they sent you. Look at this. Yes, I sent mine to Citibank and they refused this payment. Yes, I did to Capital One, and Capital One closed my account. We went over the reason why this happened and the solution to it. These are the same people that will intellectually masturbate so often and hold on to an idea that they've spent so much time in and refuse to actually learn how it actually works, which is what they're seeking. But this idea that they've hold on to and this social concept to it is no different than a religion. You tell them the truth about the origin of religion. You tell them the principles as to how these religious texts speak in at least 7 different levels. You tell them that, okay, now this is how it's used socioeconomically and sociopolitically to your own detriment. Yet the next day they will go to church repeating the same thing. That's because there's a social aspect, a social programming involved in it. You can give them all the information you want, but if you don't realize that humans are social being and there's a social intimacy involved with information, which is not isolated. Information is one thing. And then there's a social aspect of it on the other hand that people just can't let go despite knowing the stuff does not work for them. That's the issue with information of this nature. No different than a relationship. People have established so much time in it that they don't want to let it go despite them being aware that it's not working for them. Information is the exact same way. This is the same secure party groups. There are many of them. There's no need to show the particular one. I have tried SES, sent to trustee via registered mail. I've had several accounts closed and or my security not accepted as a valid form of quote payment. I've challenged these creditor with security fraud. And of course, you can't claim security fraud because you don't have evidence of being a secure party to that security. Again, as it's been mentioned in many posts, many people assert that you create the money when you sign the note. To the contrary, according to how contract law works, when you sign that note, you subrogated yourself to be the debtor. The terms and condition, which is usually something else that you also sign, tells you that the moment you sign that note, you lose all interest in it as a creditor. So you are not creating the money when you sign the note because you're signing the capacity of the debtor. What you did was authorize them to do something called valuation and securitization. That's what you authorize. It's an authorization process. Hence the authorized representatives. See, these people know all these terminologies, but when it comes to the function of it, the true sequence of event of the reality going on beyond the hype, the social portion of a human being is the greatest detriment to a human because the social portion to a human being is what conditions humans. That's the reason why children join gangs when they don't have a fatherly or motherly figure. And even if they have a fatherly and motherly figure, if they don't get love, they join gangs. That's the reason why people join religion, because of the social aspect. When people now take the things in the age of information and begin to look at things on the internet, they will read tens of thousands of pages of PDFs, sit down and watch 4-hour lectures by someone in a room who they don't even know anything about the reality of whether they use it successfully or not. They will listen to 4-hour, 3-hour, 2-hour lectures, many of those over and over, and then come back with the same result. But when someone tells them, look, it's just a very small thing that you're doing wrong, they act like it's a blasphemy. When in truth, the solution is being handed to them by them being aware of what is being done wrong, as solid as it is. They don't want to accept it. On top of that, many people on those same groups come back and give results of the things that's been pushed year after year by people who are in fact agents. Same group of people in this social media that are quick to utter that term agent. It slips out of their mouth so quick, yet they fall victim to those same agents. Hypnosis really occurs. The power of controllative hypnosis is just make sure you let them feel like they're in control. I've tried SCS, quote unquote, sent to trustees via registered mail, right? Okay, the good stuff. I've had several accounts closed and or my quote securities not accepted as valid form of payment. I've challenged the creditor. People who speak of securities don't even understand the different types of investors that exist. They don't even understand the reason why that term security exists relative to the things they're signing. So people just struggle and it does nothing. Another one says, I've tried and have not succeeded. And these are top contributors. Now can you put it to use functionally? Can you simplify it and summarize it and put it to use in your life? You're getting old every day. Time is moving on every day. Information is actually growing and changing. See, these things people reading these books, passing the buck, cracking the code, all those things, do you know most of them have been modified? Modified so much that what people think they're catching up to is so late. Another one, all ignored. Wake up. There is solution, but you have to realize that what you've been conditioned and fed is falsehood that does not benefit you and has not been proven to benefit anyone. And the one that asserts that it benefits them, the most they can show is the same image of defacing it and saying, this is it, without showing you the solution, without showing you the outcome. The most they can show is the same image of defacing it and saying, this is it, without showing you the solution, without showing you the outcome. The most they can show is the same image of defacing it and saying, this is it, without showing you the solution, without showing you the outcome. And then they tell you, oh, take it or leave it. I'm not proving anything to you. Well, isn't that the whole reason why you showed all that document, you defacing it? You're showing us the same thing everyone shows, defacing the documents, but what is the outcome? It's no different than someone giving you some sweet talk about some promise, but at the end of the day, nothing is done. The social aspect of what a human mind functions on is a great detriment. You don't fall victim to it. These are many people who have subscribed to some concept and a false promise under the assumption that they're doing some special things that no one else knows, and they got it going on, and they've invested years, year 1, year 2, 3rd year, 4th year, 5th year, 6th year, 7th, 8th, 9. I mean, people have been doing this for decades. Nothing. Okay, in 21st century, if you're still working for someone else, and you're still being taxed, something is wrong with that. To the point where $100, $20 to bill is some. If you're trying to discharge a bill, $200, $300. If you're trying to discharge a bill of $200 and $300, and it's an emergency for you, and you're not just doing it because it's an option, something is wrong. Something is seriously wrong. Financial literacy is out of the way. Financial literacy, part of it is knowing how a contract works. Let go of things that don't benefit you. It's almost a no-brainer that this is even being uttered. But false promises will keep screwing you over. Grow. Don't be stagnant. The moment you stop growing is the moment you're as good as dead.
I have a Patreon page, and I'm inviting you to come join. Are you interested in discharge? We show everything about how it's done and my own experience. Consistent posts are made explaining many things regarding said discharge. Many will seek and simply wouldn't find. Those dealing with mortgage issue or want to know more about it, we speak of it. For those dealing with basic stuff like traffic issues, we speak about the solution, and I show it from my own experiences and how I permanently prevent any such issues. Those worrying about trust, different types of trust, we go over so many things consistently. Regarding trust, we show the IRS manuals. Those who are interested in suing and making money through debt collection or other means, we go over it, we show it. I show my own settlement checks and the things that I've done as a personal experience. Those interested in banking, we show subtle details and intricacies of the things that I have learned. For those interested in other things like the IRS forms and how to put it to use, we show it, explain the details. For For those interested in court-related matters and intricacies, we always show it. For those interested in the spiritual aspect of things and how it works, we show and explain it. Those with child support matters, we explain and we show everything in detail also. Great puzzle pieces that can never be found in other social media platforms, but we explain it all as it relates to many different things. For those interested in express trusts and the issue of how not qualifying for taxation, which I call dinking, how it relates to any other type of trust or any other affairs, and how you can intertwine your affairs into the different types of discharge that exist and lack of qualification for taxation. Speak about it. The truth about really recusing attorneys and the whole foreign agent registration and attorney lawyer number, we speak about it. Speak about how to really bring about juries, and some of the comment section asks good questions and greater answers are given. Speak about how to get and use tax exemptions for vehicle use and sales. You don't have to belong to some organization. You can actually get yours according to the language of the legislature within your state. Go over the details that a lot of people mentor about regarding Article 1, Article 3. What really makes a court? It's not limited to just your paperwork. Most people don't know. You go over business matters for those with actual businesses, S Corp, C Corp, LLCs, those who are business minded and those who make monies. Go over other things that a lot of people don't know functions internationally. We speak about a lot of other spiritual related matters. Details on how to bring criminal charges, what it truly means to bring criminal charges, what a bill of particulars is, how to recuse a judge, details of the parliamentary rules in court and legislature, different things about standard of evidence and burden of proof, different things that a lot of people will speak of. Discovery. But did you know there are 6 types of discoveries? You know how to intertwine your LLCs and S Corps with an express trust, how to not make them taxable. Do you know when Trinity versus Pagliaro really is involved? Do you know how to use your home as a home office? And the many details involved. Go over the injunction and how to enforce the different types of injunctions that exist. The intricacies of how data brokers exist and how they steal information. Not just the credit bureaus, but many data brokers, and how you can prevent them. We go over grants, getting grants. We go over issues and solutions of CPN and how they're created. There are about 6 or 4 to 5 different parts that were created. We go over caveats where people say sue them, but they don't really know. We go over the things to do after you sue them. We go over the issues of privacy and technology. All the whole thing about perfection of security interest, UCC, and how to use it and how to monetize the birth certificate, all that. We go over the details. There are a lot of principles and doctrines people don't know about that we go over. Go over how to really do the copyright and the details involved in it. Go over how to simply do a trademark. It's far more easier than you think. All these people telling you go to a trademark office, do this, write this letter. It's not that difficult. Go over how to fill out the GSA bond box at a time, and so many more. How to get settlement checks, how to put your vehicle in a trust. I show you from my own experiences, form for form, step by step. We go over the different types of relief to be granted. The type of relief you seek invokes the type of jurisdiction that you fall under. All these people speaking about chancery, equity, and law, common law. The relief that you seek is directly tied to the type of jurisdiction. You go over the CPN, how it's created. Go over how to obtain bonds, where to do it. Go over the different types of discharge and some more. We explain each of those types of discharge. We explain how trademark and copyright is affiliated with asset protection. We go over how to prove trust. We go over the different types of fraud. We go over the importance that many people will never know. So many more. I show my own experiences in the audio calls from court cases of how I get different types of settlement checks. Go over the different types of discharge. There's so much more that it can't even completely be spoken of here regarding trust. We go over how to create it step by step, and many more things that will never be shown on YouTube or any other platforms. Go over other principles that people don't know about. And they speak about statute of limitation. Well, fraud does have a statute of limitation, but do you know how to subvert it? As to why that phrase fraud has no statute of limitation to bring it to life, most people don't know. There's so many things that we speak about. We speak about how to garnish people's checks and people's property. There's a form that you use for that. People don't know about it. Speak about details regarding foreign trustees. Speak about spiritual related matters. And on the Instagram page, if you get to join, come on over. There's also a Facebook page where questions and answers are posted and other reminder links to certain videos are shown. Till next time, take care. Best of luck.